Good evening. Welcome to thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Actually Professor. Deb is back. Thanks for begging and pleading. She begged and pleaded to come back, so we welcome her back. So we accepted her. So good evening to you, Miss Deb.
Good evening, Professor.
Yeah. So we have Flex in the house as usual, and we have a special guest, Miss Jamel Lashley, and we will allow him to introduce himself.
You did say miss.
Let's go.
That's all good. Yo, I am Jamel J. Fax Lashley, host of the Fax Only podcast. Excuse me. What's going on, y'all?
Nothing much.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. All right, Flex.
We're back.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Let's do it. Let's get straight to it.
Hey, hold on. What's going on here, brother?
Hey, man, chilling.
We just gonna roll with it.
It's on you, DJ.
It's all good.
Well, Cyber World, y'all know the routine. I need you to like, share, invite, and subscribe to us on all our many platforms. We got Facebook, we got IG, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you're not watching this on Facebook right now, I guess you ain't watching it at all. I need you to head over there to YouTube and log in, hit that subscribe button, and come see what we're going to talk about each week. Because Professor think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna get crazy with it tonight. So thank you for having me back. Thank you, the audience, for always tuning in. We appreciate the love and support. We have a special shout out to Rebooted, Sip, and Converse community, and All Black Opinions Matter. And to all of you that is watching, shoot us a hello. Tell us where you're watching from. Now, Professor, it's on you. I need you to let us know who we're going to be talking to tonight.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, we had a nice show about what women want in relationships. So this is today, we decided to come back this week and do the opposite. What do men really want in relationships? So we brought on another special guest to add a male voice to kind of dominate and flood Miss Debbie J out. So,
but y'all see that it's going to be 3 against 1 because they know I can hold my own. They couldn't handle me, so they had to bring someone else in for reinforcement. So don't worry, I got enough power for all 3 of y'all. I'm good.
I'm hoping by the end of the conversation, she actually understands where we're coming from, and it's not a competition. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's a reason Debbie J doesn't have a man, but we won't get into that right now. But I'll allow our guest to introduce herself. All right, Mr. Jamel, the floor is yours.
Yo, I am Jamel J. Fax Lashley, host of the Fax Only podcast. Best-Eye Brooklyn native since transition down to Houston, Texas. I love it here. Remind me of old New York. I appreciate the hospitality. I wish I drove better, but it's all good.
Really?
So, don't have a poem for today. Thank you, Mr. Jamel, for joining us once again, and thanks for the introduction. So, don't have a poem today, so I guess we get right into the topic as far as what do men really want in a relationship. So, I don't know who want to take the first stab at it. Brother Flex, Brother Jamel, well, guess go first.
All right. To be honest with you, I think really what it gets down to with men wanting in a relationship most is going to determine at his point in maturity in his life. But since we mentioning men, you know what I'm saying, we're assuming that it's a mature man. In most cases, men are looking for peace. They don't really want much else besides peace. When it comes to our relationships, we tend to work for our significant other. Our kids, we work, you know what I'm saying, for them. We don't even really want to work for ourselves. Most of the time we hate our jobs. We only do it because y'all want us, y'all need us to, you know what I'm saying? But peace is what I think is the most important thing for a man, a mature man in a relationship, ultimately, at the very foundational level. There's not, everything else is up for debate. We'll flex, we'll bend, we'll understand, we'll accept for the most part a lot of the bare minimum, much like y'all women do, you know what I'm saying? But most importantly, peace is what it is we tend to look for.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you on that one. We can name a ton of other things on there, but that the element of peace, I think, is what keeps us and gives us the ability to handle other issues. If there's no peace at the house, man, I can just tell you from a man's standpoint, and I'm sure Deborah J agree with this, that if there's no peace at the house, man, it just kind of throws us off in all other areas, right? And it's not that we don't have the ability, but I just say that we're not at our best if there's no peace, and that a lot of things builds that peace, right? I got a list, and y'all saw the outline. We talked about a listener, someone that supports you, a number of things. So, but just not to add too much to what you've already talked about, I absolutely agree with you that those things that contribute to peace is what keeps us at our best, and we want that above all else.
Yes, I'll take a stab at it. So I don't know if Flex, you come back and take another stab at it, but I agree with peace. So I think overall men want peace. And there's some things to add to and subtract from that. So I would take one of the things that subtract from peace. And I say the greatest need, so not to be needed, not to be wanted, but to be appreciated and to be acknowledged for what a man does do. So I think more often than not, there's a uh, there's a there's a need for it, or it's lacking in relationships that men aren't acknowledged for being providers and all that they do provide. And I think men are not acknowledged for having feelings. So I don't think men are allowed to have emotions and allowed to have feelings as much as women are allowed to have emotions and have feelings because I mean we're emotional beings as well. So I think overall, what will subtract from peace is not being appreciated.
Yeah. Okay. And that's
I
good. And I think you let that off with not wanted or needed, but appreciated. Was those the things that you used to kind of
Yes, I
distinguish?
mean, I feel like I have some kind of value in your life that I'm
Mhm.
I'm some somewhat of important to you. So,
Yeah.
and I think that goes a long ways.
Yeah. So, and the reason why I brought that up, because one of the topics I did put in the outline was, we hear women say a lot like, "Hey, I don't need you, I want you," and I'm trying to see how that statement fits in. And I hear it, and I know it used to sound good. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, she don't need me, she want me," but I think that takes away from what the professor is talking about, that you don't feel appreciated or valued if they're saying like, "Hey, I don't need you." What are your thoughts on that?
So I'm gonna get this to Debbie J, since she begged and pleaded. We ain't heard her voice all day, but I think that's a canned statement. So when women say they don't need us, I think they're pretty much talking from a financial perspective. And I want to be needed, but that need doesn't necessarily have to be financial. So it could be emotionally, it could be in some kind of spiritually, it could be in some other realm or arena that you may need me. But at the end of the day, I think that whole social media, that comment is all about money.
DJ?
I would agree with that. I have said that line myself in the purpose of money, that I want you, I don't need you. Because it was a guy, he felt like when he paid the bills, he controlled everything. So I was letting you know, I feel like me wanting you, I felt like that. I'm not saying I agree with the statement now, but I felt like me wanting you truly means that for all you have to offer right now, me needing you, I can be without you and still make it.
Yeah. Yeah. Jamel, you want to add on that piece?
I don't necessarily play on the trope of the want and need thing because I think it's subjective with give and take in regards to a person's feelings in that moment. In most cases, when men or women say they don't need a person, it's usually from a place of frustration. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't really pay too much attention to that. I feel like personally, I need you as much as you need me, black woman. You know what I'm saying? You may say you don't need me. You know what I'm saying? You need me. You know what I'm saying? If somebody, you come over to me, start crying, I'm punching somebody in the face for you. You understand what I'm saying? That's just how it's gonna go down. You feel me? Yeah. Can you protect yourself? Absolutely. But you just
Yeah.
got your nails done. You got a French. Why you gonna mess that up? You know what I'm saying? So you need me. I don't got a French. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't
Hey,
got
but
a French.
let's be honest with that too. So if you don't protect her, I mean, we know that you're gonna get dogged. You're gonna get dogged. There's a ton of memes out there that talk about,
Absolutely.
hey, if your man is under 5'8" and less than 170 pounds, like, hey, you better learn how to fight, black woman. And and I get what they're saying, and so I mean that kind of, hey, that's some joking in there, but I think there is some truth to a woman wants to feel protected if she's with a guy. DJ, what do you think about that?
Yes, I agree with that. I always want to feel protected because, I mean, there's a lot of disrespectful people out here. I was with a boyfriend before, and another guy came and literally hit me on my butt while I was with my dude. Like, I would have looked at my dude some kind of way if he didn't step to that. Mind you, this was a minute ago, but I wanted to see how he handled the situation and how he was down for me. So yeah, that was more of a turn on than anything.
Curious though. Curious. Would you
Okay.
quantify that as a need though? Can I would you that's a need, right?
Yeah, I mean, you want to feel protected by the man you're with. It's I'll be honestly, there was a comedian that made a joke that said that Black women look for their men in an instant to figure things out. He was like, there can be somebody shooting, and the woman, her first instinct is to look at her man and be like, hey, what we gonna do? Like, we naturally want our man to be able to take care of us, not just physically if something was to pop off, but financially, and give us that sense of security to be vulnerable and stuff to him.
Right. Okay, I agree.
I'm still trying to figure out how you found your butt.
Hey, listen,
Professor, not tonight, bro.
Hey, so we got the comments coming in. Hey, appreciate y'all out there for tuning in. We got a lot of comments in, and we're going to do our best to make sure we address as many of them as we can. But hey, all I'm gonna say about that one right there is DJ. What if the dude that protect you and got beat up? Now we got a whole nother discussion. So, but hey, we're going. I got this comment right here from Elizabeth. Appreciate you, Elizabeth, for tuning in and watching. She says we are looking for more than a provider, but someone who can accentuate and hold holistically to our life. And I want the professor to comment on this one and get Jamel to follow him up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as Deb said about the security, I mean, I think it goes both ways. It's not just physical, it's emotional as well. So I think they want the emotional more. I think they want the emotional more than the physical per se. I mean, I think overall women kind of embrace the security. But we all want someone to add value to our life, not just being a provider and someone that's going to pay the bills and keep a roof over your head, but someone that you can learn from, you can glean off of, grow from, grow with. So, and I think that adds value to your life and even expand you. So, and introduces some things that you may not be, you haven't been introduced to or even comfortable doing alone. So I agree with Miss Elizabeth 100%.
Yeah. Jamel, you want to, I'll put that back up there and I'll let you comment on that one if you feel led to.
I mean, ain't really much to say to it. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Like to me, it comes down to really just basically understanding the fact that we do both need each other. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for, while they're looking for providers and protectors and security, you know what I'm saying? We're looking for nurturing. Exactly. It goes both ways. Yeah. I agree completely.
That's a good point. Mike is.
How is he asking though? How is he asking for men want to feel protected too? What exactly? What is he asking from a woman at that point?
Men are emotional, so men are emotional as well. So that whole honesty and you down for me, ride or die, and all this other good stuff. I mean, men want that same emotional security that women want.
Yeah, and I think what's important to talk about is what that looks like and how does that come about. I think that security comes. I think what happens with a lot of us, we jump in stuff fast and we don't earn that trust. And you know, they talk about the what is it? I forgot how the saying goes, but trust is established during a fire. Sometimes when the smoke clears and you see, you know, what people are down for you, who's standing there. So my point is, when you go in a lot of these things, we assume that because we're attracted to someone or that they got a job and that they're healthy, that all these other things are going to just naturally fall into place. And I can tell you from experience that we don't have these conversations. And I'm talking about most people don't have a conversation like, hey, make me feel safe as well. You know, a woman says security in the sense of, hey, protect me from danger. But a man says, hey, I need to know that emotionally that I can express where my fears are, my vulnerabilities, be transparent with you, and know that you're not going to go back and use them against me, you know, in the future. So I think that's how what it looks like from a male standpoint.
Yeah, so sometimes, I mean, we need it, but sometimes women ain't, I mean, like, I guess Flex is saying, the woman is not equipped. So some women just can't take on the burden of hearing your emotions and being there for you emotionally. They just can't handle it. They just don't know how to express themselves emotionally, and they can't help. They can't help you express yourself or receive you expressing yourself emotionally.
I mean, by that trope, realistically, at the end of the day, if some guys ain't equipped to fight, you know what I'm saying, they got to go take a boxing class to protect a woman. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that to me, that's a toss up, 50-50 toss up when it comes to being prepared to handle the situation. But ultimately, like Flex said, I agree 1,000,000,000%. If you communicate what it is that you need, you give that person the opportunity to go figure it out so that they can get it together. If not, then y'all go y'all separate ways.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask DJ, put you on the spot. How would you accept a guy that comes to you and tell you like, hey, I've been broke before, I think I'm there now, but I want to feel safe if I need to communicate, my vulnerabilities, my weaknesses, my fears, things of that nature right there. And I ask you that because that can be seen as a weakness for men in our society. So that's why I put in the show title, Mature Men. So I'm talking about in a mature relationship. How would you receive that if a guy come to you with those concerns?
This is someone I've been dating already. We're already in the midst of this relationship, or he's stepping to me this way.
Well, I don't know that there's a need
There
to really
is.
distinguish between that. Okay.
Because if I'm in the midst of me and you're doing good, and then all of a sudden you hit a bad spot, life happens, God forbid you had to pay for a funeral or something, you used all your money. And now we're in the midst of this relationship. Yeah, I feel like the loyalty is there, the trust is there, the love is there. At that point, yes, I'm going to hold you down. But if a dude try to step to me like that and it's broke, I'm going to, hey, go take care of your business first before you try to start.
So I'm not saying he's broke. He's broken at the moment, but what I'm saying,
Oh, you saying broken?
Yeah, not money. I'm talking he's broken. Like, yeah.
Oh,
Deb only hear this.
Wow. No, I thought you said broke.
No,
okay. So if he comes to me broken, yeah, I mean, even if it would be the same. In that instance, it'll be the same. I don't want a broken man, but if I can lead you to the information that you need, come holler at me later. I don't want someone broken. I want someone
broken,
to heal.
Meaning he's been broken in the past, but he's healed. But he's coming to you, telling you like, "Hey, it is important that I am able to share, with you my feelings, my concerns, things of that nature." That's what I'm saying. Not that he is broken, but that has happened in the past. But now he's telling you that it's important that he talk to you about those things.
That's cool. You can have me give a whole explanation on something else.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So from your perspective, a woman's perspective, and all men, what do you think men want?
I mean, all we hear all the time is loyalty. Someone that's going to be down for them.
You said loyalty?
That's only, loyalty and someone being down for them. That's all I have ever heard.
Really?
But I think I would agree with that when you hear like what's said the most, especially on some social media platforms. Exactly. They just want a woman that's down for them. But again, that's why I think it's important to break that down and say, like, what does that mean? Because it takes more to be loyalty than just like, hey, I'm going to be here for you.
Facts, exactly.
So I think if you break that down, there be what does that mean to you if a man say I want loyalty?
Like she just said, trust falls into that loyalty standpoint. They want someone that can trust them, be down for them in a sense of, hey, if I do become broke, will you hold me down? Do you love me enough to hold me down? If I am broken and something tragic didn't happen and I'm dealing with past issues, this, that, and that, will I be there mentally to coach you through, support you in a sense of mentally and physically? Will I be able to hold you down in that instance? So, I mean, it can come in so many different ways of your loyalty to a man. But basically all we hear is, hey, don't lie to me. Don't be cheating on me. Because like I said, a man knows who he wants. And if he really wants you and you out here cheating on him, you're going to spoil him for everyone else.
Yeah. And I think that's so surface level and so superficial. I don't think it brings anything of necessary value when the rubber meets the road, when the challenges are here. Like, okay, I just need you to be loyalty. I don't think if you don't talk about what that looks like and what that means, I think you're gonna get caught left responding and reacting to a bunch of problems, and this is gonna be tough from there.
Yes, I like what Ms. Latangela said with respect. So I think that's a great need for men too, to feel the need to be respected.
Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
that takes away from our peace and everything else in a successful relationship.
Yeah, cool. I want Jamel to respond to this one right here, if you don't mind, sir. It says men want a safe haven and for us to bring resolution to their lives.
Safe haven, I agree. Resolution in what way? I mean, women don't necessarily solve the problems that we may face as men. You see what I'm saying? Like for the most part, any woman that I've ever had in my life was more so serving as a trusted advisor. And I would talk to them about the things that I was faced with and go ahead and use their advice in order to solve the issues that I might be faced with. So concerning the safe haven part, that absolutely fits. Bring a resolution to our lives. I don't know. I mean, I can't really see what that looks like. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what that means.
Yeah. I think and I had the conversation with her. What she's talking about is not that she can solve your problem, but she can help you, get to a point where we can navigate and get resolution to the issue.
Trusted advisor.
Someone that's just not, bringing just chaos and these old stigmas about, you need to man up and be tough. She's, nurturing, considering like, hey, whatever that challenge is, that she just want to help resolve it. So I agree.
Right.
And she came back and followed up. She said, we help bring resolution.
Yeah.
I see.
So a trusted advisor. That makes sense. That makes sense.
So and we got a few others. I want to go through, make sure we hit some of these comments.
I have yet to see the contention that y'all said Debbie J was going to bring, because so far it's been a very simple conversation.
Hey, we set her down beforehand and told her, come here.
I'm still trying to figure out how he found her butt. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You are nice.
I need to meet this guy.
Yeah. So here's another from Ms. Dina. She said, need is a word that we have come to shun, meaning you can't do without me. It's a choice, not a need for one another. What you think about that, Professor? I could see.
I think the word needs get a negative connotation, as if you can't survive without me. I make your life whole, and I mean how you made it this long in life without me. So I feel it gets a very negative connotation, and for whatever reason society has placed that negative connotation in the word need. But I think I think we all need each other, like Jamel said. We all have a need for each other in some shape, form, or fashion. And I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna pretend. Need me, babe, because I need you.
I'm with you.
I don't like washing my clothes, Ma. Please, I need you.
Hey, I need you. Yeah, and if we really want to get super technical about it, if we need each other for the survival of the human race, we wouldn't be here if we didn't need each other to procreate. So, hey, here's a comment from Vince. Is one of his faithful followers.
This is the producer's faithful follower. How you doing? Good evening to you, Clyde.
Yeah, so Deb, you want to read this one?
It says, what do men want in a relationship? According to the Bible, humans are made up of spirit, soul, and body. In a relationship, we should enter into covenant with a female that satisfies those three realms of our existence. God bless.
Man, I like that. I like that. So, we talk about the deeper things again, and you always got to kind of hammer those out, unpack them, and see what they actually mean. But you're right, we do have spiritual needs. The soul is what animates us, and our physical needs as well need to be considered. So appreciate Mr. Clyde for tuning in, and as always, being one of our faithful followers.
He don't follow us. He just listens to us every time we come on.
Well, he needs some entertainment.
The thing says that respect, love, honesty, sometimes someone to support and confide and comfort in. Some of the stuff we've already said. So appreciate that. So let's
switch some gears real quick. But
go ahead.
Let's talk about this one, the makeup and the cosmetic surgery. I really want to hear y'all input on that.
Okay. As a need for men, like that's something we desire or need.
Is it? Is it something you have an issue with? I mean, what is it?
So just to set up that question, what we talk about is a lot of times we're focused so much on the physical that we overlook some of the other things. So I know a lot of people put a lot of time and attention into the physical. And it's not just the cosmetic surgery, it's the clothes, it's it is the makeup, it's the way you wear your hair.
Jewelry is everything.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that when you consider putting more focus in and not as much in the mental and spiritual aspect?
So if we talking physical in regards to body
Physical,
and all that good shit, I
all
don't personally, I don't deal with the whole cosmetic thing. If a woman does it because she wants to, then cool. If she wants to do it, but it's not something that I need. I'm not gonna be the one to be like, oh yeah, ma, go get that BBL. I don't care about that. Personally, I want it natural. I like the stretch marks and the loose skin. Leave it for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit carnivorous. I don't even trim the fat on bacon. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue.
Okay. I get what you're saying. It sounds all good. It really sounds all good. But the deal is, a lot of dudes say exactly what you have said, and somebody that doesn't matter to them. But when it comes down to it, that's all you want to look at. I don't see y'all idolizing the IG model. Isn't an IG model because she has stretch marks or a flat booty or little chest or whatever like that. She's an IG model because her body is perfect, and that's why she got so many followers. Y'all dudes are looking at that. Don't sit and say, I don't need it, I don't need it. But that's what you tend to gravitate to.
Everybody's looking at it.
I got a question. I got a question for you. I don't want to single you out, but I got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you like Idris Elba?
No.
You know, what's a celebrity you find attractive?
Morris Chestnut.
No.
Just shoot any celebrity out that you find attractive.
Michael Ealy.
Michael Ealy. Are you with a man that looks anything like Michael Ealy?
No, not with the eyes. No.
So my point. Now, the reason why I brought that up, right? We all have things that we might look at. I like to look at Mercedes Benz. You see what I'm saying? But I refuse to buy a Mercedes Benz because there's a lot of things that cost with the Mercedes Benz. You understand what I'm saying? I prefer to drive around a Chevy. I'm actually a solid Chevy supporter. I got a Tahoe that I've been driving for several years because of how reliable that truck has been for me. You understand what I'm saying? Don't mean I'm not going to look at a Mercedes Benz. The Mercedes looks amazing. I like the C class. I like the S class, but I think I'm going to stick with my Chevy. You understand what I'm saying? It's reliable. I can trust in this Chevy. It's always got me where I need to be. Similarly, I think in most cases, both men and women, we tend to look at things that we like, that we find attractive. Like, man, Buffy the Body's amazing. I couldn't imagine when I first saw her ATL, I lost my mind as a young man. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't mean but
you're not saying you don't find the other woman that you're with
unattractive. Exactly. I'm attracted to the woman that I'm with, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. That I'm gonna look at the IG models as something that I'm gonna chase after. Like, nah, that's not it. This is physically appealing. Personally, I think with men, my 2 cents, it's not even the figure of it's not even the things that the IG model type woman might possess. It's just the silhouette of the female frame that we're attracted to. You could literally put a black and white image of a female silhouette on a piece of white paper, and we'll be like, wow, that shape is crazy, which is where the whole figure 8 shape came from, or the Coke bottle shape came from. You understand what I'm saying? So my 2 cents, I don't care. I'm gonna double tap it, but then I'm gonna come in the room. I'm gonna double tap her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be stressed with the whole IG thing. I'm not pursuing that.
Yeah. So I don't believe in cosmetic surgery neither. So I mean, it's great to look at, and those IG models. It's just not all men following and liking. It's women following and liking as well, because everybody's attracted to an attractive person. But at the end of the day, I mean, someone made the comment that like, hey, the looks may attract a man, but all day, every day, in my opinion, as a man, it's the personality that's going to keep them. So women are out here spending all this money on their bodies and doing this and doing that, but they're not doing anything to shape the woman, to shape the character of the woman. So I would like a woman that works out, because I believe if you work out, you're not just working the physical, you're building the mental character as well. And I think that's the perfect combination.
Yeah, exactly. You really got to count the cost. That's why I said the why the woman is doing it is so important to me. If you're doing it because you genuinely want to, you had an issue with this specific like insecurity or whatever the case may be, you want to address it, then cool. Go ahead, go crazy, ma. But if you're doing it because you want to be like an IG model, you like the attention she get, then that's a cost that I'm not willing to pay.
Man, that's good, man. That's good. But so now I'm gonna throw this out there, because I hear women say, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. Right?
And they always, Go ahead, Deb. Why you say you're doing it for me?
I have never had it, so I can't say I'm doing it for
Well,
me.
it might not
But
be
I
that
feel,
specifically, but say makeup or however, whatever. They said I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it
but
for you.
that's for anybody. If
Mhm.
when you look good, your confidence go through the roof. When you look good, you feel good, and you perform on a high level. Okay, so yes, some people are superficial. Some people want the surgery because it's a fad and everyone's doing it, but they're loving the attention that the person gets after the surgery is done, after the swelling goes down, all of the stitches are removed. They love the attention that they get. So that's for anybody. Yeah, you're doing it for yourself because you are missing something. In a sense, you're trying to gain something that you don't have, and it may be that personal or that attention from the opposite sex. Who knows?
I think
But
it could be that, but I think there is too some people that doing it really, healthy, whatever. If they're having to do the weight loss surgery, or a number of things. So, hey, I don't know. I don't want
My
to
only
pick them
thing is
apart.
you doing it for you, but that might like the eyelashes. The eyelashes, that's not even my thing. It's like I'm not attracted to eyelashes at all, but I get it. It makes you feel comfortable. But it's like I'm giving you the attention you may be seeking. It's like why continue to do this eyelash thing?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, even though you may say you're okay with her not having it, I bet you I mean, and just like me right now, I have on no makeup. I've literally been in the bed all day.
We
This
know.
is me. This is me in the raw. But if I dress up, and I'm in my onesie, I dress up and put a ball gown on, makeup on, hair did. You're gonna be like, dang, you really beautiful. I'm still
Yeah.
the same person. You just attracted more to the makeup. So don't say, oh, you ain't gotta have it, you ain't gotta have it. Every once in a while, it's good to have it. That's a date night thing. That's something that you would want to see your woman. Baby, go dress up. I just want to see. I want to see the enhanced you or something like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
To
No,
play devil's
what's not, I
advocate.
get it. Go ahead,
No, I
Terrell.
got oh, my fault. All right. So to play devil's advocate, right? I understand the idea behind why women will want the attention too. Who doesn't want to know that they still got the sauce or whatever y'all call it? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Everybody want to make sure they still got it. You know what I'm saying? They still want to make sure they're still attractive and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you want to make sure you got the baddest thing next to you, even though, you know what I'm saying, you get annoyed by the women. I mean, the men is looking at the woman you got. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Like, I understand why the attention is called to or is desired after. Like, I get it. But realistically, it's a cost. Personally, I'm like, look, I like my joint bad and dressed up. Get the attention, just don't get it while I'm around.
No, we got to go back to the beginning of the conversation. You got to know how to fake to have a woman.
Oh no, I can scrap. That ain't the
Every
issue.
night I got to fight for my love.
Hey,
I
so
can
Jack
scrap.
said eyelashes are fine until they wear the ones the length of my fingernails. So I get it, man. I've seen, the different lengths and whatnot. So like, man, I think we can go a long way in the discussion about, the length or how thick they are and all that. But I think here's Latangela Dudley, she says, I think people are doing it to feel better about themselves. And I think there are some people that are doing it. And an element of feeling good about yourself is I think you do have to consider to a certain degree how someone else views you as well. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Man, so I got another one on here that I was talking about. Great self-space self-sufficient. So we kind of hit this last week. And the professor and Deb, they was about to hang each other. But we talk
As
about
in a self-sufficient woman.
Yeah, versus so a lot of women talk about
Independent.
independent, and I was saying I think a more correct way to characterize it is saying self-sufficient. And the reason why I say that is because if something is independent, meaning that I don't need you, I operate independent, regardless of what you got going on or whatever. And I think that's the wrong way to be, because if you think that you're independent, whoever you're in a relationship with, eventually it's going to start to work out that way. Versus, hey, I'm self-sufficient. Can I handle business on my own if I need to? Absolutely. But I don't think that we were put here to handle things on our own. I think that's what the basic of a relationship is. So, I think you can sound like you're getting in the weeds a little bit, but I think if you are operating as independent, I think it's an issue, man. That's me.
I agree. I agree. But I like to give an analogy when I have this discussion with people, right? Especially
Okay.
on air. A car, it doesn't go anywhere without its driver, right? Like nowhere at all. So
Yeah.
a guy saying he's independent is like a car with no driver, and a woman that's saying she's independent is like a driver with no car. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Y'all both can function doing exactly what
high
you're doing.
level.
Yeah, y'all can both function exactly doing what y'all doing, whatever the case may be, but you're not gonna go anywhere unless you work together. You know what I'm saying? This is my 2 cents. It's okay for me. This is me personally. I used to be very, I don't want my woman to even break a nail. You know what I'm saying? Don't take no trash out. Don't open no doors. I was real big on that. You know, I still am. I'm struggling a little bit. I'm trying to break out of that.
Yeah.
I was real big on that. You don't even lift no weight, Ma. You want that off the top shelf? I got you. Now I feel like what I was looking for wasn't that I was looking for a woman that I could take care of to that effect, but a woman that I could trust to get things done without my supervision. And I think a lot of men are saying the exact same thing in a different way. I actually used to villainize a lot of the dudes that wanted 50-50 women that can cover bills and things of that nature. And until I actually sat down and talked to some of these guys, you know what I'm saying? When I actually got their view on the situation. And in most cases, they really just want to be able to trust that woman to do what it is they trust them to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, I can trust you to do this. It's not that I want you to take on all these responsibilities. Is that if something happens to me, I can trust that you can do this. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, there is some trash dudes out there that want a woman to take on and take care of them. You know what I'm saying? But I think genuinely at the root of what he raised his hand. At the root of any decent man that really does want to coexist with the woman in their space, it comes down to trusting them to be able to execute what it is they put before them. You feel me? And at least that's where I'm headed to in a healthy sense. Like, I'm not independent. You're not independent. We interdepend on each other.
Yeah. Interdependent. I like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our very own IC has come onto the show and she's been commenting, and now she has one. I'm going to read this one. It says, I've learned to be independently dependent. I can do and handle things. However, I want my man to know that I can relinquish that part of me when needed and necessary. Amen to that. But the thing is, the caveat to it is, it's not just going to be any man. You're going to have to prove yourself that, yes, you can handle. Why are you shaking your head? Don't know. Prove yourself in a sense. Okay, if I've been holding it down by myself all these years, taking care of however many kids or whatever, and someone wants to step into my life, you gotta show me that I need to take my cape off because you can handle it. Because a lot of men cannot. They're not ready for that role. They just want the woman, but they really don't want all the responsibilities that come along with that woman. So we gotta weed out those guys. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I agree.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna go back to the independence thing. So I believe it. I agree with Miss IC, and I think physically independent is not the issue when it comes to relationships. But the issue is when you're independent minded. So, and that was just caused the strife in relationships, trying to be in relationship. Like, okay, you can do all things physically by yourself, got it, but mentally, can you come together and be mentally dependent per se? In some shape, form, or fashion, which is kind of what Miss IC is talking to. But to your point, Deb, I feel like that's an issue with dating. I feel like the onus is always on the man to prove his worth. So the women's automatically qualified, automatically everything for the man, but the man always has the burden of proving himself to be worthy of the woman.
So let me ask you this. With that being said, I mean, does it have to be an either or? Can't they both prove their value and desire to be in a successful relationship?
It should be.
And I agree with that as well, because women still got to prove themselves to them. Like I said the other week, there's no point of a woman asking for something from a man that she can't go get herself. Stop asking for these expensive purses and you can't afford it yourself. So yes, he needs to be looking at her the same way as well.
Hot take. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm just gotta put my 2 cents out there. I feel like women have what's considered to be intrinsic value.
Yeah.
They don't have to prove themselves because what they bring to the table is evident. It's just my 2 cents. My 2 cents. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And I agree that there's an element of that with the man as well. And I say that because
to some extent. So I'll put you like this physically, right? When you see a dude, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Flex. When you see a dude, you're like a reasonably sized guy. Right? Feel like you can handle your own. When you see a guy that's smaller than you, short, you see what I'm saying? The guns. You know what I'm saying? When a guy come into the situation and he's smaller than you and he talking real spicy and you look at him up and down, does he look like he could defend himself when he mad? He 110, 5'3". He doesn't look like he can defend himself, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Just based off of appearances, that guy alone, you already discounted whether or not he can do so. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With men, I feel like we have to prove ourselves because it's not intrinsic. You can't tell what a man can do or will do just off of appearances. Whereas a woman, as soon as you hear woman come into the equation, you know she make babies. It's a good chance she can cook. You get what I'm saying? It's just,
and the reason why I say that because if you don't, then you're frowned upon. So while you almost, in one sense, you got to prove yourself. If they think that you can't, you're frowned upon. So I think there's an expectation that you're supposed to be able to, and if you don't, it's a weakness. So,
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. It just
so
like
she puts it back on. She said, "How is it evident? Are you saying that it's only physical?"
No, it's just when it comes to women, right? When it comes to women, we don't question what y'all can do typically. Typically, we don't question.
Oh, yes, y'all do. Y'all the one that came up with the frame. What do you bring to the table?
Debbie, hold on. Let me explain. That's a very new thing. Would you agree? Would you agree that whole what you bring to the table? I have only heard it in the last. I've only heard it in the last 15 years. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, well, 15 years. Okay, I'm about to say
it's a very new thing, historically speaking. Right? Historically speaking, since the dawn of man to today, you understand what I'm saying? It just goes without saying what women bring to the table just from their existence. A woman is absolutely, we automatically assume you're going to cook like my mama, you're going to clean like my mama, you can have kids like my mama. We come automatically determining these things just off of what our mother did. I'm telling you what I know.
Deb can't cook.
No, I'm not saying that they all can. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we automatically come into the situation assuming these
I almost said something.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It's built into our society. I think
absolutely.
It's some of the unspoken stuff. So,
but on the other side, though, if you flip the script, there's no intrinsic value to a guy. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, they say she ain't your mama, so you have
to. But it's not even that you my mother, it's that you realistically we come in assuming that. You see what I'm saying? We come in assuming that you have things that just are valuable, and we consider those things valuable to us. We assume.
And if you don't see it, then what?
If we don't see it, then that's when things get kind of hairy. That's where you got a whole bunch of guys saying, "What do you bring to the table?" Because they now seeing a bunch of different variances in women. Women aren't a monolith, just like men aren't a monolith. You get what I'm saying? We're assuming that. Historically, we will assume things. Now we can't assume. Nobody's assuming anymore. Now everybody's saying, "Nah, I need to know." Right?
Yeah, that's good. So we're getting kind of more specific right here. Jack said, "If I forget to take out the trash, I don't need a woman that's going to keep adding trash until it's all over the floor. She being petty. I need her to grab those drawstrings and sling it into the dumpster herself." So, I mean, hey, I get it. But hey, some people will go petty. You know, like and rag you and almost judge you totally off your forgetting to take out the trash. So I think you got bigger fish to fry if that's one of the things that's causing issues in your household.
This is my thing, society and the dating thing. So this is just my experience. So if a woman has a job, she's paying her bills and taking care of her stuff, she's a good woman. You can have a man that's doing the exact same thing, but he's not considered a good man. He's just a man. But if a woman is doing the same thing a man doing, what she should be taking care of herself if she's single, she's a good woman automatically. So you know how many women I've met that say, "Hey, I got so many good girlfriends." It's like good. They work and they take care of their business. That's the only qualifier.
Can I call you Doc for sure? Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So Doc, listen. Question: is those things what makes a man or woman good though? Like no, I've yet to hear anybody say a woman with a good job, a car, and a house, and all that good makes a woman a good woman. I've yet.
Is that a good woman, Dad?
Yes. Hey, you laugh. Hold on, wait. Let me tell you why. You want to laugh? I'm gonna tell you why. Because most of these women are educated. Why do all of these jobs want an educated person? The reason because it's not because they went to college. They went through something hard and completed it. So with that being said, that makes you a good woman because you can tough it out in the tough times.
Hey, hold on.
We out degree y'all right now.
Hey, so let's ask the context of that. So I think I can agree with Deb if what she's saying, if you can't do those things, if you don't bring those things to a relationship, then what will a guy think about you? If you're not working, if you can't cook, if you're not helping with the chores around the house, if you're not a homemaker, then what would a guy think about you?
I get it. That's something totally different. But
and got that BBL and she good for looks, and that's all he needs.
if all things are equal, job, degrees, whatever the case may be, that woman will always be classified as a good woman, and that man is just a man. And he has the burden of proof to prove himself to that same woman.
So
which is very interesting.
I don't think that makes a man a good man. My 2 cents. Just because a guy got a good job, a car, and his own house, it doesn't make him any good a man. I don't think so. There's dudes. I'm being serious. There's dudes literally. I kid you not. There's dudes literally who are in the process of creating Fortune 500 companies from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? They're just not where they are supposed to be currently. But it doesn't mean that they don't have the ability or the fortitude to take care of a woman, a family, or any of those things, or provide in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but back to the point though, if he is not working again,
if he isn't working, not doing anything at all, then I mean,
and I'm trying to get it from a woman's standpoint. Like if she's looking for a guy to come in and be value added to a relationship, and he's not doing the bare minimum, I think that's an issue.
No, of course. At that point, what's your utility? What is your utility in a relationship? If you don't have use, then why are you in the relationship? That makes sense to me, but that goes for either side, a man or a woman. If that person isn't useful, why are you with them?
Yeah,
man, my classmate, she getting biblical over here. You know, she says a good woman is one that fits you. She can be good, just not good for you, and vice versa. So you're right.
I love it.
You know, the Bible says, "I will make a helper that's suitable."
Yeah,
for you.
I love it.
So,
I love it.
Good thing.
It ain't got nothing to do with $100,000, Dad.
I would flip you off.
So what's this thing about Deb with money? Are y'all saying that Deb?
No, Deb. Yeah. Deb saying Deb is about money. It ain't me.
It ain't true. Man, so we got a lot of good comments coming in. We appreciate everybody tuning in and whatnot. Here's the one from our good friend Clyde, our number one fan. He says, just because a woman has all those great qualities doesn't make her a good woman. He's agreeing with you. He says she might be a pure witch. I don't agree with the choice of words with Clyde. FYI, he said, I know what I'm talking about. Right on, brother.
Yeah. He talking about if she got a job and all that good stuff, she might be miserable. I get it.
Absolutely.
But that's what I'm saying. It don't matter what they possess. They might be trash. You know what I'm saying? They could be trash individuals.
And again, what I would just want to do is make sure that we're considering what that means from a woman's standpoint. If a guy's in her face or trying to get to know her, and he's not even doing the bare minimum. So I do get, and it's not making either one of y'all wrong. So man, it's been a good discussion. I know Jamal, you talk a lot about relationships and you know where you've been and where you're trying to get and you know what you have to do to get where you are. When you consider what a mature man wants, what a mature man wants in a relationship. You talked about peace earlier, and that was kind of, I think you gave it as an all-encompassing answer. But if you had to kind of get in the weeds a little bit more, can you give us one more thing before we move on and close this segment out?
When it comes to peace, so for me, speaking from my perspective, as a man, when I come out into the world, I got to deal with a lot of things. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. As a black man, even more so, if I want to get specific. You feel me? I'm dealing with racial inequality. I'm getting pulled over just because my car look a certain way, because I'm dressed a certain way. If I got my hood on, it's a problem. When I come into the crib, I need to know that my woman is going to help me to unpack all of those things and bring peace to me. If you see what I'm saying? Her being my peace means that I'm able to find peace in her and with her outside of everything that I'm going through in the world. You know what I'm saying? So what's most important to me, like I said, is having that ability for her to be my safe space and my trusted advisor. So I know for a fact any decisions I make is best not just for me, but for the family as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Any decisions I make for myself is going to keep me in a place where I'm not mentally strained. I'm not frustrated. My anxiety isn't high. I need her to be my true support system. That's one of the facets of bringing peace to me. Another reason is, look, if I'm hungry, I ain't eat all day, baby. Can I have a steak when I come home? You know what I'm saying? So that's another form of peace. I don't got to go in the kitchen and cook. You know what I'm saying? Because she already got it taken care of. So
yeah, but you're not saying that that's her duty to feed you, because what if she's working too?
Nah, I don't got a problem with that. Yeah, go ahead. You don't even got. If you don't want to cook, babe, you hiring a chef, because I'm gonna still be hungry.
I say that because man, you're a great cook yourself, man.
What if she's Debbie J?
Do what?
What if she's Debbie J?
I don't know what that means.
She can't cook.
Like I
She
said,
a
like
great
so.
woman.
I'm a phenomenal cook myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I said, if after a long day of work, if I don't feel like cooking and she decided to order a pizza or something like that, then we Gucci.
Yeah. Okay. And now the reason why I'm asking that because I had some good friends. We had a deep discussion about that, and she said that she likes when her man cooks her a meal. And he was like, "Man, sometimes I get off. I don't want to cook. I'm gonna go and make sure you eat. I'm gonna bring home some food." And she was like, "I don't want you to bring food. I want to see you in the kitchen. You know, even
Yo,
if
she
you've
got
been at
fetish.
work."
She got fetish. She like to see
Oh, so so I mean, how valuable is that piece of it to see someone doing something that's important to you? Okay, you might be tired, you might have a long day, but you're going the extra mile and putting in the extra effort to do something that's important to me.
That's a huge deal for me. The cooking itself I'm real flexible on, but in regards to being my safe haven and having somebody to talk to, I can't flex on that. Like I absolutely need that. You know what I'm saying? And I need to know that regardless of what you got going on, you're gonna be there to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be able to, like, I don't want to unpack shit that I got going on if you got a lot of things going on and you can't handle the situation. You understand what I'm saying? That's what a therapist is for. I don't want to overload my significant other. I don't want to overload my significant other if she has things going on of her own. You understand what I'm saying? But if she doesn't have anything and she really does, like, let's say, for example, hypothetically, the kids are giving her a hard day today, you know what I'm saying? But she don't got too much else going on besides the kids being annoying. And she's willing to listen to me even though the kids is being annoying. I appreciate things like that. It shows me that she considers me to be important. But if she got real shit going on, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to curse. Is that okay? If she got real things going on or whatever the case may be, like a parent die, because real life happens. A parent die, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. I'm not going to expect her to want to put my stuff first. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. That's unfair. It's unrealistic, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good, man. I like Jack. He said, "Nah, men like peace, women like war," and that's in response to Shay. She said that men like peace and women like security. So I agree with you. Yeah, I like what Shay's saying. And again, I think it's important to break it down and talk about what security looks like and what peace looks like. So I can definitely agree with that.
In most cases, we have these arguments and discussions because people don't understand each other's humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, the same thing that makes us a good human makes us good individuals. But what makes a man a good man and what makes a woman a good woman is completely dependent on our needs for each other. What I need from you might not be what it is you need from me, but if I can facilitate those needs, that's what's going to make me a good man for you and vice versa.
Hey, man, that women going off on Jack. Nedra said, applying to Jack's
I'm loving it.
Until women put in a situation to sit up and go to war. Hey, there it is right there, man. That's good. So, you know, I get it, man. You know, we're in a relationship because it feels good to us. I think it's what we're supposed to do. But I think what a lot of us do, we go in it and say, like, I know what I want. I know what I deserve. And I'm looking like the other person know what they want and they know what they deserve too. So what happens is when you get a lot of people getting into relationships and you get these conflicting ideas and these people are just battling unnecessarily because I think gaining a position of privilege over the other person. And relationships are about service to one another. And my thing is if you don't get that part figured out, man, it's going to be long and it's going to be
a hard road. Facts.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So DJ.
Yes.
We think you've been a good sport. You know, this is you know, I like
she wasn't that bad. Y'all talked all bad about this woman and she ain't even do nothing.
Hey, I know. That's how they always do me. That's really.
Put a name on it. Put a name on it. So
yeah, put a name on it. Flex.
Hey. So we move part. Oh man, I almost forgot. Hey, what we on? We threw the discussion, Debbie.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you was acting like you was reading. I didn't want to interrupt you, but yeah, you know, we want to thank you all again for joining in. We're gonna get ready to wrap up this show. Want to see if anybody have any parting thoughts, and we'll start with you.
No.
That is what
it's commercial time.
You went way past the script.
Oh shit!
Drink that wine. Too busy drinking that wine on camera.
Oh, shut up. Okay. Oh, yeah, it is time for the commercial. I'm sorry about that. You haven't played it for me to say my part.
You gotta cue me though. Okay, no, man. We'll go ahead.
We freestyling tonight. Flex,
let's show it.
Yeah, it's up. Let me
I
do
mean,
it for
because he was
it.
supposed to come in with it.
Hey, let me do it for it. It's our time. It's time to pay the bills right now. So here we go.
Huh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the commercial that you just saw, if you didn't understand what you were seeing, JNED is a luxury recovering lodging business that offers a place to stay while you're recovering from your medical procedures in the Miami area. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit with a dining area and full kitchen. The area boasts of nice restaurants, high-end shopping, and a night scene. Contact JNED Enterprise LLC. Flex, can you put up their email and phone number? And also, you can find them on Facebook at JNED Enterprise Sales and IG at JNED Enterprise _LLC. Since all these women getting these BBLs, please contact them. Let them know you got a nice place to stay.
You all right?
Who that, me?
Debbie.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm just sweating like a slave over here. It is a trillion degrees in this office.
Man, Professor, you up?
Hey, man, you disappeared. Can't see you.
Who?
You. But no worries. But yeah, so great show. Thank all the viewers for joining in. We really appreciate viewership. Please stay tuned to the Facebook page for upcoming shows. And I want to say, give a big shout out and a great big thank you to Jamel. J Fax, hey brother, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your input. And
I
all the
appreciate
wisdom
y'all welcoming me.
bestowed upon us. Hope you can come back for another show in the future.
If you'll have me, I will. I enjoyed the energy. Y'all were dope. I do appreciate y'all.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to share with the viewers your contact information, where they can watch you, or how they can contact you.
Yeah, y'all can reach me at factsonly@gmail.com. And if you're looking for the podcast, just Google Facts Only. It'll show up.
Yeah, and Facts is with a, how do you spell that?
FAQZ.
FAQZ. And what's some of the topics you talk about on your platform, man?
So my biggest conversation that I have is usually centered around authenticity, and the authority that people have within it. Just being yourself and not, putting on no facades and dwelling too much in your ego. It's okay to show and prove, what I'm saying, what you can do, but it's best to just really show what it is that you are and who you are at the end of the day.
That sounds like it's a challenge, man, especially in this world where it's so much is built on what other people think about you.
I mean, consider social media. Yeah, consider social media.
I mean, your job. I mean, your kids, everything. So, I mean, to be able to walk and be authentic, I mean, it's going to be a challenge. But hey, I agree with you, man. I would be interested to hear about how one of those conversations go. DJ?
Well, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and take this time to wrap up the show. I guess this is in the right spot now, right? We have any parting thoughts from the crew? Jamal, we'll go ahead and start with you since you're a guest. Let us hear any parting thoughts you may have.
Ultimately, what's gonna make you a good man or woman for your significant other is simply just listening to their needs. Like I'm a firm believer in relationships being selfless, not selfish. When it comes to individual development, then you need to be selfish and make sure that you're taking care of you first before everything else. However, in relationships, it takes a sense of synchronicity. You got to really consider everybody else in the situation, regardless of what kind of relationship situation you got going on. You got to consider the other person more than you consider yourself. You know what I'm saying? So just be selfless in your thoughts, in your actions, and y'all be good. Communicate.
All right, that's good. That's good. What you got, Professor?
Well, I'm gonna stick with my go-to. I mean, love yourself. Love yourself and do all you can to develop yourself and just fully love yourself. And at the same time, mental health is a real big issue. So, I mean, seek professional help. So there's no shame. There's nothing wrong with going to see a professional. So don't let's get rid of that misnomer that it's you weak, you may be less than whatever because you go see a professional. But if you need a professional to get yourself into a better headspace, or whatever the case may be, please seek mental help and the advice of a professional.
Yeah.
Likewise. All right, Dr. Flex.
Okay. A couple things. First, I want to read the homie Bug Isaiah. He said, I think my pet peeve problem is that a woman is not going to make demands to tell me what I'm supposed to do. I got you, brother. So with that being said, man, a lot of times it's, they say perception is everything. And part of that is in the delivery. My number one thing is just be polite to folks and, consider what you're saying. Some people say I'm blunt and I speak my mind, and that may be all fine and dandy and well, but I can tell you from experience that those people that normally talk like that are some of the most sensitive people and easily offended people out there. My thing is that everybody should be treated with dignity and respect at the end of the day. And I think if we start there and let that guide our interactions and conversations with each other, that we're at an advantage from jump. So that's why I'll say just be kind, be polite, treat each other well. And I think that this world will be a better place.
All right, all right. I just want to hit on that as well. Yes, mental health in our community is seen as a weakness. Let's not associate weakness and mental health as a sign of weakness. We need to change that in our community, and also change this generational wealth and breaking these generational curses and get generational wealth. There's this article that had just came up, and it says Black spending power reaches 1.6 trillion, but net worth falls. They were saying that the record reached 1.6 million in 2021, although the group's net worth declined 14%. We're so caught up in trying to keep up with everybody else and what they see on social media. We spending money left and right to be like them people. Come on, let's leave our children more assets than liabilities, and let's change that narrative of we're the biggest spending but the lowest in owning properties and businesses. So that's how I'm gonna just end that. So let's change that. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
So all right, so we do have some events coming up with some of our personalities on our shows. We got Coach Cookie in Resilient Studios in Texarkana. She got some events coming up. Do you know what those events are, Flex?
Not right off, but as always, follow the page. Tune in, follow the page, and you'll get all things going on with Coach Cookie and Resilient Studio. And one of her favorites, though, is the pole class. She is the only place in that area that's offering lessons on how to dance on the pole. She ain't teaching her how to be a stripper.
But hey, do me a favor. Can you shoot me the address to that place when you get a chance?
Man, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So yeah, she's doing a lot, man. And shout out to Coach Cookie, man. She is one of our founding members, and man, she does so much for the community. She puts on big time for the city, and she's big on the mental health piece, physical health, but also, that's one of her pet peeves too, is being polite to each other. So appreciate everything you're doing, Coach Cookie.
All right. And we also want to remind you about Superman T. Will. His show called Educate and Motivate will restart in February. The Love and Relationship show, second and the fourth Sundays. So y'all keep watching us and stay tuned to all the ads that may come into the weeks prior for us to air. Ask the professor, you want to talk about what's up for next week?
Yeah, so
And
we
the
got
late
Coach K
night.
coming back. Coach K coming back as a special guest. So next week we're talking about Valentine's Day, all the stigma behind Valentine's, and hopefully we can offer you some alternate ideas as far as what you can do for Valentine's Day versus the standard chocolate and the flowers and all that good stuff. So that should be next Thursday. Looking forward to having another session with Coach K. Should be a very great discussion. And at the same time, we're working on bringing late night education back. So we're very close to getting one back on the air. So continue to follow page for the updates, and the next time we'll have that show.
Yeah. And one more plug too. So we got a new show starting up. It's called The Culture. Angelia Ladybug and I, we've been working on that for a number of months, and we think we found the perfect host for that show. So starting Wednesday next week, The Culture podcast is going to be heavy. If you're into politics, all things about the culture, hot topics, and hot button issues, man, we're going to be here for it on that show right here. So Wednesday next week, 7 Central Standard Time is going to be the world premiere of The Culture podcast. So looking forward to that.
Dope.
Okay.
Dope.
Okay. All right. Before we head on out, I do want to read one more comment, Miss Nietzsche Graham. The wine of choice tonight was none other than the Stella Rosa Black Cherry. So that's what I'm sipping on tonight.
Hey, you better be glad James not on this show. He don't play you plugging nobody.
I know, right? But once again, we want to thank you all for joining in on the show. We would still like you to like, subscribe, and invite your friends and family over to our Facebook page, our Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or even our LinkedIn to keep up on the events and titles of shows as they get ready to come up. We want to thank you, Jamal. Thank you, Professor, again for letting me grace your show, because you couldn't do it without me, and I understand that now. And the audience, we want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you again for the Sip and Converse for spending. Oh no. We want to thank Jamal with J-Ned. I'm sorry, Luxury Recovery Lodging. We want to give you that plug one more time. Thank you again for joining with us. And all right, Flex, you can clear that outro if all hearts and minds are clear.
Hope that wine help you find your butt. My mind is clear now.
Why you keep looking for?
Yeah, baby, I'm in love. If it come down to the floor is yours, let me show you how prove the floor is yours.
Yeah. Peace out.
Hey, y'all be